could deliver players that Kenny doesn't want. He doesn't want big players. He wants to be able to play positionless basketball, which I'm not mad at. And he wants to be, and he thinks in his theory, in his mind, that to do so, I need players who are of a certain type, and that type is what's holding us back.
I want to continue to help these guys and really help their confidence. We got a good group in there. We'll come out of this.
Tonight you had a poor shooting nights from Kyrie, Spencer, Karras, and Torian. Do you just see that as part of the ebbs and flows, or is it reflective of kind of an offensive inefficiency that is starting to set in recently?
They're the best defensive team in the league. So first of all,
again, that's the second time he's saying they're the best defensive team in the league. That's an excuse. That's an excuse because this wasn't a competitive game, and they lost to a great defensive team. This was a game where a team basically strangled us and beat us down, and their best player, their biggest bully, sat down. So to keep rolling out that excuse of they're the best defensive team, it's not a good excuse.
I give Milwaukee credit. I think we knew it was going to be tough. We knew we were going to get, we knew they packed the paint, and we knew we were going to get open threes. You get them, we have to do, obviously, a better job of making those shots. It's key against a team like that. I think it's more, again, reading situations, reading, who's at the rim, who can we kick out to, can we make that extra pass, just stuff against, when you go against the elite defensive teams, you really gotta make the correct decisions. And like I said, I don't know, Greg, if you were here first, but just we were attacking the rim too much. They have great rim protection, and I think Kyrie had a couple great ones at the end of the half, where first half where he kicked it, and we got some open shots, but we just got to do more of that. And we got good shooters. It's just a credit to them, and not a great shooting night for us.
The Nets had zero chance scoring in the middle. The Bucks understood that, and again, this is a coach showing you, just like Phil Jackson did with the triangle, that he believes in his religion. He believes in the dogma of the system that he wants to apply. So much so that no matter how much evidence that it's the incorrect thing to be doing with this team, he will continue to run this out there. He will continue to tell us this could work if we only played more like point guards, if the decision making was better, if we could make that extra pass, right? It's not my fault. It's not my game plan. It's how the guys play.
Kenny, you talk about continuity with your lineups. I know it was a loss, but what are you seeing from that three-guard lineup specifically from a positive standpoint?
Yeah, I know we're going to continue to use it. I mean, I keep saying this, you got to have your best players out there, and then we have to figure out.
Stop right there. You have to have your best players out there. That is one of the worst things I've ever heard a coach say. You have to have a strategy that deploys your players in a way that teams cannot counteract. When you put Kyrie and Spencer Dinwiddie out there, and if they're making shots, great. But if they're out there canceling each other out, then you've put them in a position to lose. So you can't get if you get the full Kyrie, if you get fully what Kyrie Irving does, Spencer Dinwiddie doesn't touch the ball. Right? And if Spencer Dinwiddie is doing what he does, guess who else doesn't touch the ball? Kyrie. And even worse than that, the lob that Karras, Spencer, Kyrie all do throw with Jarrett Allen? They couldn't throw it not once. They couldn't even run that play because of the static created by this lineup between Kyrie and Spencer Dinwiddie, who basically do the same thing, you jackass. Excuse me. I'm new to this content creation thing. But just hearing these things make no sense to me. Because wouldn't you rather have a Spencer Dinwiddie, a starting guard quality, borderline all-star, coming off the bench and taking advantage of the second team? Why would you want to, on purpose, basically roll out Karras and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot? That is idiotic.
What that looks like and what the balance is and all that, but like those guys out there, will continue to do it.
Kenny, you guys have been without Garrett for a little bit. Do you expect him back soon, or could be a little?
Yes, I think.
I don't know who asked this Garrett Temple question. I urge every Net fan who's listening to this broadcast, anybody who's listening to this broadcast, go look at Garrett Temple's stats. This is a consistent, over 10 years of career. I think it's 8 or 12. I don't know. He's 33 years old. And Kenny has this thing that he likes having a coach out on the floor. These are old-timey coach beliefs. Right? Who's the veteran on the floor with Giannis? Is it Lopez? He's the coach on the floor? Is it Wesley Matthews? We know it's not Gordon. I'm sorry, Bledsoe. This coach is horrendous.
Very trending positive for Monday. Definitely could use him.
Kenny, what did you like that you saw from Nick Claxton tonight? Is he kind of making a case to?
He answered the Nick Claxton question already. Now, I like Christian Winfield. Cool dude. From my town. We from the same place. Way different generations. But he answered the Nick Claxton question.
Try to get some more minutes.
He like I said before he got in, he's going to be really good in this league. I hope I don't say that about every single guy that's on our roster, but he's got something. He's got something extra. He's a really fast athlete. He's got great hands. He's a quick reactor, quick jumper. He's got he's got a knack for the game. So great instincts, and then he plays incredibly hard. So once he's working on his strength, he gets his strength and gets his legs under him. He's gonna be a heck of a player for us.
That type of question lets Kenny Atkinson off the hook. Kenny, how are you going to face up against teams like this? It appears that whenever we play Indiana, whenever we play Philly, whenever we play the Bucks, and those are the three teams that you've got to get over. How are you going to play against them playing these 3-guard lineups, Kenny? It hasn't seemed to work over the last 3 years. That's the question you ask. But you let him off the hook. You let him off the hook, and you allow him to answer the same and basically talk about the one positive thing there, and that's where the beat writers are failing us. How do you let him off the hook after the Bucks did what they did to us tonight? After the Philly game we just saw, where they were allowed to come back, not because they just got super hot on offense, but because they were just being able to bully us. Wouldn't a player like Carmelo Anthony have helped this team a lot? Wouldn't some size in the lineup helped you match up? Is Rodion's big enough to do the job, Kenny? What's his status with the team? Those are the questions that we should be asking. How are we letting this coach off the hook? It's a disservice to the fans, and it's a disservice to the team. Because if you don't put pressure on that team to make changes, then we'll believe this nonsense that, everything is going to be all right when KD comes back.
I apologize if you answered this already, but in terms of Joe, you expect him back also?
Yeah, I hopefully, this isn't like a 2-week thing. I think, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but, he told me, after the game that he's feeling better. So hopefully we get him and GT back, get whole, get our lineup whole. I think that'll help us.
He's saying that like that would have fixed tonight's problem. Like Garrett Temple and Joe Harris playing tonight would have made things better. And no one said anything. This is New York City. This is the media capital of the world. The Nets signed a bona fide superstar, and the head coach does not know how to deploy him. This is unacceptable. New York City, I hate it.
And Jarrett had only 3 field goal attempts tonight. I understand the length that they have in there, but is there something else that he has to do to get himself open in there?
Great question.
It's part of that is the way they play defense. They drop their big. They don't let they don't let you hit the roll guy and have him finish. So they credit to them.
Oh yeah.
I do think when Jared's really good, the offensive rebound, when his energy's super high, we need him as an offense.
That's him blaming Jarrett, and and it couldn't be more of a lie and more of a deception than anything that Donald Trump has done in the last 2 years. This man basically said Jarrett has to try harder. And maybe on some level he does. But that's not why he didn't get the ball. It wasn't just for the fact that he was big. I mean that the other team was big. It had everything to do with 2 guards and players who need the ball to be successful. They ran no plays. That lob play, hard to do against the Bucks. I will admit that. But it's not even on the table. Kyrie and Dinwiddie cancel each other out. And when they do that, Jarrett has no role.
It's a rebounder. We need him to run the court and get easy baskets.
We need him means he didn't do it. And that's a lie. And that's character assassination of a kid who's out there giving it his all against the worst of setups. New York City, New Jersey, Long Island, tri-state area, Nets fans around the world. I do this front office pod, and it just goes to show why independent media is so important. See, I don't have the access. I don't go to press conferences. That's not my aim. That's not what I'm trying to do as a podcast. I'm really just trying to learn about this medium. because I've seen a hole in the market. I've seen that creativity is something that has to be monetizable going forward, and not every kid